Tony hadn't spoken for months. No words, no real reactions, just distant eyes and tiny nods. Everyone thought today would be the same. But when the teacher handed him a colorful wooden block and gently asked, "What does this look like to you?" Tony suddenly paused. He turned the block in his hands, his eyes focusing in a way no one had seen before. And then, Tony whispered a single word, soft but clear enough for the whole room to hear. "Home." The teacher froze. Hoai Ca covered her mouth as tears spilled instantly. After all those silent months, this was the first word he chose to say. One small word, but it made the entire room fall silent. If you're watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because this is only the beginning of Tony's journey toward hope. Early mornings in the countryside always carry their own sound. A rooster calling somewhere far off wind, brushing through the tall areca palms, droplets rolling off the roof after last night's rain. Hoai Ca pushed open the gate, still slightly out of breath from her morning run. Dew clung to her shoulders, making her look fresher than usual. Hung was standing under the porch with a warm cup of water. The moment he saw her, he frowned in surprise. "You're up early. You actually went jogging." Hoai Ca brushed her hair back and gave a soft smile. "Yeah. I'm trying to get healthier. Everyone in the city works out. I figured I should take better care of myself too." Hung studied her, genuinely surprised. "I've never seen you do that before, but it's good. Moving in the morning clears your head." She nodded thoughtfully. Since taking Tony to the hospital, seeing how strong other parents are, I feel like I need to change too. I need the strength to keep up with him. Hung stepped closer and rested a hand on her shoulder. "You always put him first. I know that. But about Tony's schooling, have you decided what to do?" Hoai Ca let out a slow breath. "The teacher called yesterday. She wants to evaluate Tony at 10 this morning. I'm taking him in." Hung's concern deepened. "And how are you getting there?" "The bus. The roads are still wet. Riding a motorbike would be hard, but you're pregnant," he said quietly. She gave a gentle smile. "I'm used to it. And Tony and Ando will be there. I'll be fine." Hung didn't look convinced, but he knew once she made up her mind, nothing changed it. "All right. Just get ready. I can take you to the bus stop." Hoai Ca shook her head. "You should stay home and work? I can manage." He hesitated, wanting to say more, but in the end, he simply murmured, "Be careful. Text me when you arrive." She nodded. A cool morning breeze swept across the yard, carrying with it the quiet hope that today, Tony might take another step forward. The bus stopped in front of the small apartment block, where the teacher rented a room for her special needs classes. Hoai Ca stepped down with Tony in her arms, shielding his head with a soft towel as a light drizzle fell. The narrow walkway leading to the teacher's door was lined with bright purple bougainvillea blooms. The teacher was already waiting. She was petite, but her eyes were warm. "Hi, Tony. Ready to learn with me today?" she said gently, bending down to his level. Tony clung to Hoai Ca's shoulder, though his gaze drifted toward the colorful toys arranged on a small table inside. The room was cozy, foam mats, shelves of toys, learning cards, and therapy tools. The faint smell of new wood and crayons made the place feel welcoming. The teacher pulled out a chair. "Come sit with me, Tony." At first he stiffened, but when she brought out a puzzle shaped like a car, his eyes lit up. She opened the box, spreading the pieces across the table. Let's build the car together, okay? Tony touched one piece, slowly placing it down. That one connects to the wheel she encouraged. Try it. He glanced at Hoai Ca. She nodded, smiling softly. You can do it, sweetheart. He fitted the piece correctly. The teacher beamed. Great job. A small wave of joy filled the room. Next came a set of traffic-themed flashcards. Where's the fire truck? Which one is the motorcycle? How about the car? Each time Tony pointed to the right card, the teacher clapped and praised him. Today, his responses were quicker than usual, enough to make Hoai Ca's chest tighten with pride. Then came the bead threading exercise, meant to help with focus and fine motor skills. She placed a box of colorful beads and a string in front of him. Let's start with a red one. Tony picked up a bead and began threading it. Slow, steady, one bead at a time. Hoai Ca watched his small hands, slightly shaky but determined. The sight made her heart ache and swell at the same time. The teacher gently adjusted his fingers. Hold it like this, it'll be easier. Tony followed her guidance. After nearly 10 minutes, he completed a full string of beads. Way to go, Tony. She cheered, raising her hand for a high five. Tony hesitated, then tapped her palm lightly. The teacher laughed, and Hoai Ca's eyes filled with tears. As the session ended, the teacher pulled Hoai Ca aside. He's doing really well. Just stay consistent. A little progress every day goes a long way. Hoai Ca nodded. That's all I hope for. When they stepped back outside, the rain had stopped. The air felt clean and cool. Tony rested his head on her shoulder, his tiny arms wrapped around her neck. Their heartbeats aligned, and for a moment, Hoai Ca felt the whole world pause around them. Hoai Ca held Tony's hand as they walked into the hospital's therapy center. The building was old, but tidy, with kids' drawings taped along the hallway. Blue plastic chairs and the steady hum of the air conditioner. Sweetheart, this is where we'll come for therapy starting tomorrow, she said softly. Tony scanned the hallway with curious eyes. He pointed at a picture of a family, a dad, a mom, and a child. Hoai Ca's smile turned gentle and sad. One day you'll draw our family too. Behind the center was a small playground, a slide, a swing set, a few plastic toys. Tony ran straight to the slide, sat down, and whooshed down with a bright laugh. The sound echoed across the yard, washing away weeks of exhaustion from Hoai Ca's heart. She sat on a stone bench watching him. A light breeze, soft afternoon sun filtering through the leaves. An elderly woman handing out charity porridge walked by. Do you want a bowl for your little boy? Yes, please, Hoai Ca replied. She offered it to Tony, but he shook his head. That's okay. He'll eat later, she said, setting it aside. Tony moved on to his favorite activity, threading beads. Hoai Ca handed him the box. Show mommy how you do it. He picked up a bead and slid it onto the string. One bead, then another. Slow, focused, determined. Every time he got one right, her heart felt a little lighter. A few minutes later, Dew appeared at the gate, backpack on, rain still clinging to his jacket. Tony, he called. Tony turned, then ran into his father's arms. Dew hugged him tightly, eyes glassy with emotion. They sat together by the playground. Tony tugged on Dew's hand, pointing to the slide. All right, Dew laughed. Daddy's coming. From a distance, Hoai Ca watched the two of them. No bitterness, no jealousy, just a calm acceptance. Dew glanced back at her. I want to stay for a few days. Help take care of him, if that's okay. Hoai Ca nodded. As long as Tony's happy, I won't stop you. Do. Exhaled, relieved. Thank you. She crouched beside Tony and stroked his hair. Tomorrow we start therapy, okay? You have to try your best so we can go home sooner. Tony looked up, his big round eyes shining. He gave a tiny nod. Hoai Ca pulled him close, feeling his heartbeat against her chest. The late afternoon breeze carried the warm scent of sunlit air. And in that quiet moment, she knew the road ahead would still be long. But every step Tony took was leading them toward a brighter future. The next morning arrived sooner than Hoai Ca expected. She barely slept, checking the clock every hour, afraid she would oversleep and miss Tony's first official therapy session. When the sun finally rose, casting a thin sheet of light across the bedroom floor, she gently shook Tony awake. Morning, sweetheart. Big day today, she whispered. Tony blinked, then rolled toward her, pressing his cheek against her arm. It was his silent way of saying he understood. Hoai Ca got him dressed, combed his hair, and packed his little backpack with tissues, a small towel, and his favorite toy car, the one he held whenever he felt overwhelmed. By the time they stepped outside, Do was already waiting near the stairs, holding a cup of warm soy milk. For you, he said, handing it to Hoai Ca. You barely ate last night. She accepted it with a quiet thank you. They walked together toward the therapy center, Tony between them, holding both of their hands. The morning air was cool, carrying the scent of wet soil after last night's rain. Vendors were already setting up along the street, pots of steaming noodles, releasing soft clouds of aroma. When they reached the center, the teacher was waiting with the same warm smile. Good morning, Tony, she greeted, crouching down. Are you ready to learn today? Tony didn't answer, but he didn't hide behind Hoai Ca this time. That alone felt like progress. Inside the therapy room, the teacher prepared the activities. Today would be more structured, a mix of speech practice, motor skills, and sensory play. Hoai Ca and Do sat on a small bench to observe. The teacher began with a simple greeting exercise. She placed her hand on her chest. Tony, say hi, just hi. Tony stared at her hand, then at her mouth. He didn't speak, but he didn't turn away either. The teacher didn't push. Okay, you can try later. Next, she set up a matching game, animal cards, spread across the table. Where's the cow? Tony pointed. Where's the dog? He pointed again. Where's the elephant? His finger landed right on it. The teacher clapped. Very good. Do leaned closer to Hoai Ca. He's sharper than people think. Hoai Ca smiled. He just needs time. Half an hour later, the teacher brought out a small microphone-shaped toy that amplified sound slightly. She pressed the button to demonstrate. Tony, can you try making a sound, any sound? Tony took the toy with cautious hands. He pressed the button. Silence. Hoai Ca felt her heart tighten. She didn't expect him to speak immediately, but she hoped. Then, without warning, Tony leaned forward and breathed out a soft ah. The sound was tiny, fragile, but it was there. The teacher's face lit up. That's wonderful. Good job, Tony. Hoai Ca covered her mouth, fighting back tears. Do's hand found her back, steadying her. The session moved to sensory play. The teacher placed a tray of kinetic sand in front of Tony. Try making a shape. Tony pressed his small palms into the sand, fascinated by the texture. He shaped a lumpy circle, then a messy square. He wasn't very precise, but he was engaged, fully present. And that was enough. Next came the bubble exercise. The teacher blew soap bubbles into the air, one after another. Pop them, Tony. Tony giggled a clear, joyful laugh as he chased and popped them. Hoai Ca hadn't heard him laugh like that in months. For a moment, everything felt right. After the session, the teacher invited Hoai Ca and Do to sit down for a brief evaluation. "He's responding well," she said. "He needs consistent structure. Speech may take longer, but he's showing signs of readiness. The important thing is patience." Do nodded. "And we'll both cooperate." The teacher gestured to Hoai Ca. "You've done well. Children feel their mother's strength." Hoai Ca lowered her gaze, slightly embarrassed. "I just want him to have a chance." "You're giving him that chance," the teacher said. "Keep believing in him." When they stepped outside, Tony held both their hands again. His steps were lighter, almost bouncy. Do stopped at a small cafe near the center. "Let's sit for a bit. Tony might be hungry." They chose a table under a shady tree. A mild breeze rustled the leaves overhead, and Tony rested his head on Hoai Ca's shoulder while waiting for food. Do watched them quietly before breaking the silence. "You know, I've missed a lot. I wasn't there for you. I wasn't there for him." His voice cracked. "But I'm trying now." Hoai Ca didn't look at him. Her eyes stayed on Tony, who was tracing shapes on the table with his finger. "You're here now," she said simply. "That's what matters." Do swallowed hard. "I want to be part of his progress, even if you and I don't go back to how we were." Hoai Ca finally turned to him. Her expression was calm, honest. "We're not doing this for us. We're doing it for Tony. As long as you respect that, there's no problem." Do nodded, relieved. After breakfast, they walked Tony to a small park nearby. Children were playing on swings and slides, parents chatting under umbrellas. Tony watched from a distance, gripping Hoai Ca's hand tightly. "Do you want to play?" she asked gently. Tony didn't answer, but after a few seconds, he tugged her hand, a signal that he wanted to try. Hoai Ca led him to the swing. She sat him down, then pushed gently. Back and forth, back and forth. Tony lifted his feet, feeling the air brushing against his legs. His face softened, eyes half closed, as if savoring the sensation. Do snapped a picture quietly. "Don't post that anywhere," Hoai Ca warned. He shook his head. "No, it's just for me, to remember this day." A few minutes later, Tony pointed to a group of kids playing with a ball. One boy smiled at him and rolled the ball his way. Tony froze, unsure. Hoai Ca leaned down. "Kick it back, sweetheart. It's okay." Tony nudged the ball with his foot, not strong but enough. The other kids cheered, and Tony's lips curved into the smallest, shyest smile. For the first time, Hoai Ca felt something in her chest unclench, a quiet hope blooming where fear used to be. They spent nearly an hour at the park, until the clouds began gathering again. The sky darkened, hinting at another round of rain. "Let's head back," Du suggested, "before the storm hits." As they walked, Tony stretched his arms upward, asking to be carried. Hoai Ca lifted him, resting him on her hip. His little arms wrapped around her neck, warm and trusting. Du walked beside them, umbrella ready, and as the first raindrops began to fall, Tony laid his head on her shoulder, letting out a soft hum, a sound he'd never made before. Hoai Ca froze for a second, stunned. Then she hugged him tighter, her voice trembling. "That's right, baby. Keep going. Mommy's here." Under the gray sky, with the rain falling gently around them, she realized something. Tony wasn't just taking small steps. He was finally finding his way back to the world, and she would walk every step beside him.